we ready? Have you got it running? Facebook
I'm about to push go live now.
Okay.
You
All
ready?
right. Yep. Let's go.
3, 2.
I'd like to welcome everyone this morning. Thank you for attending this press conference. The Arkansas Coalition Against Sexual Assault is a statewide nonprofit coalition of individuals and organizations working together towards the elimination of sexual violence and now human trafficking by advocating for victims' rights and services. Arkansas Coalition Against Sexual Assault is pleased to announce a change in mission, including training and technical assistance for programs working with victims of human trafficking and the inception of an online reporting portal to access the Trafficking of Persons report form. Human trafficking is also called trafficking of persons and has no place in our world. As both a grave crime and a human rights abuse, it compromises national and economic security, undermines the rule of law, and harms the well-being of individuals and communities everywhere. It's a crime of exploitation. Traffickers profit from the expense of their victims by compelling them to perform labor or engage in commercial sex in every region of the United States and around the world. With the estimated 27.6 million victims worldwide at any given time, human traffickers prey on all people of all ages, backgrounds, and nationalities, exploiting them for their own profit. ACASA has provided training and technical assistance to programs working with sexual assault survivors for over 25 years. Now, ACASA adds similar support for those programs that work with adult individuals who have experienced or are experiencing human trafficking. In December of 2023, ACASA received funding in the amount of $6,297,000 from the American Rescue Act to support organizations in 12 regions of Arkansas to add victim services for human trafficking. Although ACASA began providing and training technical assistance for these agencies in 2020, this funding allowed for the expansion of the program to provide advocates around the state explicitly trained to work with victims who have been trafficked. Over the past 2 years, ACASA expanded this program to all 12 regions identified by ACASA, subgranting funding to 12 different organizations serving these communities and having ties to resources in those communities. ACASA believes that the mission of providing services to promote healing from trauma associated with experiencing trafficking is critical for Arkansas. For years, the various programs in the state have worked in silos, making services difficult to provide. By this change in mission to include human trafficking, ACASA becomes the state coalition for human trafficking, bringing service providers together across the state to enhance the resources available to trafficking survivors. We also want to say that we have a correction to the press release that was released yesterday. Since the program's initiation, these organizations have reported serving over 199 adult victims and 14 minors around the state. Of a total of 203 victims, almost 96% of those victims were female. 30 victims were male, and 1 victim was identified as unknown. The breakdown for the ages of the victims are as follows. Ages 18 to 24, there were a total of 17 served, which is 8%. Ages 25 to 40, there were a total of 87 people served, which is 43% of that total. Ages 41 to 59, there were 62 victims served, which is 31%. There were some ages that were not reported. There were 23 total victims that their ages did not get into the report, but we do know that those were adult victims. From the ages of 0 to 12, 4 victims have been served, and ages 13 to 17, 1 victim was served. All of those victims were referred to the Child Abuse Hotline, which is protocol for Arkansas. As you can see, the majority of victims who this program have served have been between the ages of 18 and 60. ACASA is providing funding for services of adult victims who have not had the opportunity to be helped in the past. More statistics for these services are available upon request. ACASA has also developed an online reporting form that can be accessed by scanning a QR code or following a link, which is available on all of ACASA's social media or our website. Posters with the QR code are being developed to be distributed throughout the state. Community members may use this portal to report anything they may suspect as human trafficking by filling out the form. Individuals reporting may include their contact information, their name, or they may remain anonymous. ACASA is proud to be part of an effort to end human trafficking in Arkansas, working alongside the Attorney General's Office and the Arkansas State Police. ACASA has developed collaborative relationships with several groups in the state who work to seek out the traffickers and see that justice is served for the victims. ACASA is also a partner with TVAP, which is Trafficking Victims Assistance Program through the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Now I would like to invite Deputy Attorney General Ryan Cooper to say a few words.
Thank you. And that was well said. First off, I would like to thank ACASA for allowing me to be here today, and I'd like to applaud the tremendous work that they do. As you just said, the gap in services for adults is huge, and being a part of trying to fill that void is an enormous thing, and I absolutely applaud you. Thank you, all of you. I'm humbled by it. Arkansas this past year has made human trafficking a priority. The Attorney General made human trafficking a priority, and I was honored that he asked me to be a part of it, and I'm honored to be here on his behalf. The state as a whole is working towards addressing human trafficking and how we can fight this epidemic as it ravages across our state. The governor put out an executive order in February. Attorney General Griffin had a 2-day summit in October that was attended by more than 1,500 people. People not just from Arkansas, people from across the country, people from other countries. Arkansas is doing its best to make strides when it comes to addressing the problem. The Department of Public Safety and DHS recently got a 3-year grant from the Office of Victims of Crime to help provide victim-centered support, and it's that focus on the victim that is going to allow us to have some modicum of success in this area. It's going to allow us to move forward as a state. The grant that they got allowed the state police and DHS to form the Human Trafficking Council that the Attorney General's office is proud to be a part of. Part of the money that's coming from that is actually used for specific victim services, physical and mental health care, substance abuse treatment, legal services, child care, all of these things in a victim-centered approach. The Attorney General, during the summit in October, announced the creation of the statewide Tactical Operations Program, which is a collaborative effort of law enforcement, both our federal partners, the U.S. Attorney, the FBI, HSI, Chiefs of Police, Sheriff's Association, the prosecuting attorneys. That is allowing a collaborative effort between those groups because, as was just said, it's not just the victim services that were siloed. Law enforcement's information was siloed, and it's only by coming together, by law enforcement coming together, victim services coming together, and everyday citizens coming together that we're going to be able to make a difference. Lawmakers passed a variety of laws as it related to human trafficking in this last legislative session. During the summit, I got to help moderate a panel with Senator Gilmore, Senator Irvin, Representative Gazaway, Representative Fight, all passed legislation as it relates to human trafficking and trying to address the problem. Arkansas is at the heart of the country. Arkansas is the heart of the country. It shows in our citizens. Arkansans care. We still believe. And it's hard for us to accept that human trafficking exists in our state. And when I go around the state and meet people, that's the first hurdle, because nobody wants to believe that there's human trafficking. It's not in my state. It's not in my county. It is not in my neighborhood. Human trafficking is here. And it's because of where we're situated geographically, because of the major thoroughfares that we have, and because we're predominantly rural, we are a prime target for human traffickers. I said I'd only say a few words, and I'm going to, but you give me a microphone and let me talk about something I care about. It'll be a minute. What I want to say, in addition to thank you, is that human trafficking is here. It is not an issue that is going to be solved by law enforcement alone. It is not an issue that's going to be solved by the justice system alone. It's not a system that's it's not a problem that's going to be solved by any of these groups alone. It is only through collaborative efforts. It's only through bringing people together like ACASA has done that we're going to be able to fight this. But the key is everyday citizens. The key is stepping up. Please, please, please do not think because you're not a victim service provider, you're not the attorney general, you're not a governor, you're not a legislature, you're not a cop, you can't make a difference. You are the difference. Even if it's something as seemingly simple as learning what the signs are, going on the websites and seeing what to look for, it is a huge step. Listen, it sounds cliche that no one can do everything, but everyone can do something, but the power in those words is epic. You are the difference. I urge you, please be that difference. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone that attended today. I would like to introduce the employees of ACASA that work directly with the programs that are doing the human trafficking work around the state. Shannon Holman is our director of the Anti-Human Trafficking Program. Yeah. Sativa Carpenter. And I know, she has a really long title. Well, and then Michelle Klein is our associate director. So I want to commend them on a job well done. They are doing fantastic work in the state, and we can't wait to see what the future holds. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I couldn't say it all. It's a lot. If they want it, they can write it down.